Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my channel if you are brand new. My name is Danielle and I'm a full-time reseller on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay. In today's video, I wanted to do a kind of sit-down chatty video talking about the Flyp app. If you don't know what Flyp is an app that actually allows you to consign other people's items that live kind of all over the US. It basically allows you to get free inventory straight to your door that you can sell and then pay out your clients as you sell their items. So it's like no upfront cost inventory. It's basically a win-win, but it's a little deeper than that. So if you want to learn more about the app and how to use the app, I do have a video on my channel that's called like all the things you need to know about Flyp or something like that. I'll pop it up on the screen. I would definitely go watch that if you honestly have no idea what Flyp is. It'll give you a little more insight. And if you guys do want to try the Flyp app, I will have a link down below where you can sign up. But I would definitely learn about the Flyp app before you watch this video. So come back after you've learned about the Flyp app. But in today's video, I kind of wanted to go over my experience and how I've become successful and just a few tips and tricks I've learned over using the Flyp app for the past year. I officially downloaded the Flyp app in December of 2020, and I actually received my first ever lot in January of 2021. So we're just at about a year of me using this Flyp app. Before I go ahead and fully jump in, I do want to say that this is in no way affiliated with the Flyp app at all. I'm not getting paid to talk about this app. I did not get paid last time I talked about this app. I just seriously have loved using this app, and it's added so much to my business that I just feel like I need to share it with you guys, because that's why I'm here, to help you guys. That is why I started making videos in the first place. So that is it. Let's just go ahead and let's jump right in. So first, I want to talk about consignment, and I want to just say off the bat that it is not for everyone. There are a ton of people that I know that absolutely hate using the Flyp app, and they tried it a couple times and it was just not for them. And that is why I stress to you guys so much that you have to create your own business, because one reselling business cannot mirror another and still be successful, because you're two different people, you're two different humans, and each one of us has to run our business the way we want to, and that is how we become successful. Personally, I like to have a mix of using consignment and getting stuff from thrift stores, liquidation, whatever it may be as well. I like to kind of merge the two. You can have a fully successful reselling business strictly on commission. It is definitely possible. I just do not want to do that. Personally, I really enjoy shopping at thrift stores, and that is why I got into reselling in the first place, is because I liked to do it. Now it is obviously my full-time job, but the whole basis of getting into reselling was because I liked to do it. So I do not want to take out the fun that I had in reselling before it was my full-time job. I want to keep that, but add to it. So I added consignment to my business to just add another layer to it. So essentially, consignment has a zero upfront investment, which sounds great, but there's way more that goes into it that you're probably not thinking about until you actually jump into it, because that is exactly what I did. I have been doing this for, like I said, over a year, a little over a year, and I have learned so much in the process. I have lost money, I've made mistakes, I've screwed up. Like there's been lots happening. So consignment is not butterflies and rainbows, just like reselling in general is not butterflies and rainbows. There is so much more that goes into reselling, just like there's so much more that goes into consignment than just getting items to your door, listing them, and selling them. So I kind of want to go over how I became successful using the Flyp app, and kind of a few things that I have noticed upon using the app that could help you guys if you're interested in trying it out. So when I was first trying out the Flyp app, I kind of went in too strong and too fast into consignment. I was so excited that I got approved to be a pro seller. I applied for so many lots, got them all, had them all shipped to me, and I was sitting in my office and I was like, did I just get way too many lots at once? After they all arrived, I was looking at them like, there's no way I'm going to be able to process and list all of this in a timely manner. So I was working my butt off to do all of that when I could have just took on a couple lots at a time and not stress myself out so much. So if you are just like trying out consignment, I would highly recommend sticking with 1 or 2 lots at a time that are small. I would definitely 100% stick with the small lots first. That is my main thing. Small lots first, so you can kind of get the feel for it and kind of understand what you're doing before you jump in with like a 30-piece lot, because 30-piece lots can be very stressful and can definitely overwhelm you if you've never done consignment before. The next thing is you need to be very careful and picky with the lots that you're applying for. You also need to make sure you understand Flyp's commission structure, which I do talk about in that video that I last did on Flyp. There has been one small change since that video. They have implemented a 5% selling fee, which honestly at the beginning I thought was not the best idea, and I thought maybe I could lose a couple clients, but in the end it turned out to be great. And honestly, 5% is less than like every selling platform ever, so it actually wasn't that bad in the end. It just was a little bit of a shock and a change, which a lot of people don't like change, and when things change, that's when people kind of freak out. So I was a little worried, but it all ended up being a-okay. So they do have a 5% fee now, but make sure you understand their commission structure fully before you apply for a lot, before you do anything, because the commission structure is how you make money. And if you don't understand it and you don't actually look at it and realize what's happening, you're probably going to screw yourself over and not make a lot of money, which is what I did in the beginning. Besides understanding and knowing the commission structure by heart, you need to know when you're applying for these lots in your mind, kind of what you're going to make, how much time you're going to spend, how long you think everything's going to sell, just as a ballpark in your own head, because you need to make sure you're going to make a profit. It is very easy to get wrapped up in Flyp and literally make nothing because of their commission structure, and because some people just aren't selling the best stuff and they're not putting the best stuff in their lots, that you can definitely get yourself into some trouble. So make sure that when you're applying for lots, you're actually going to make money. And my biggest thing with applying to lots is make sure your commission is set at nothing less than 50%. I would honestly even go a step farther and say to keep your commission at 55 or 60%, just because that is how you're going to maximize your profit. When I first started, I used a very bad commission rate, and I definitely lost money at some point in the beginning. Personally, I stick with 55 and 60% commission, and I use 50% very seldomly with certain lots that have high-end items in them, which you would still be making a pretty good profit with higher-end items. It just depends on what you can sell the items in the lot for. So if you can only sell stuff in the lot for $30, you better have a 60% commission rate, because that's how you're going to make the most money. Going above 60% commission rate is not the smartest of decisions. Obviously, you can do whatever you want, but I would not recommend going above at 60% because the client is paying the 5% fee. So at a 60% commission rate, they are only making 35%. So keep that in mind as well, that your client is also making money off this. It's not just you. So definitely cater to both your needs and your client's needs, and that's how you're going to succeed. But now I want to talk about how I became so successful and how you can also do the same thing I did to have a ton of your income from reselling come from the Flyp app. I would not recommend all of it coming from there. If you are a full-time reseller, I would recommend still having your own stuff from thrift stores, liquidation, whatever, just in case Flyp one day goes away. You never know what can happen, so I would definitely diversify still. But my main tip and trick to becoming successful on Flyp is to have a regular client, between 1 and 5, I would say. Personally, I have one very relevant client that sends me hundreds and hundreds of items, and then I have a few on the side that every so often come back and like, hey, I have this lot, and it's always good stuff. Now, obviously doing this is easier said than done, and I actually met my regular client not even on Flyp at all, and you can meet them off Flyp, you can meet them on Flyp, you can meet them whenever. But if you find someone who thrifts because they love it, but they hate the reselling aspect of shipping and photographing and all that stuff, but you do that, that is golden. Because as soon as I found that, I was set. I needed no more clients. I could just stick with my one client and I would be fine. Obviously, I do take on a few more that I have worked with in the past, just because they invite me, and obviously they've worked with me before and they liked the way I sold their things, so I would love to work with them again. And those people typically know my commission rate already, which really works out for me. So I would highly recommend that you guys kind of just have between 1 and 5 clients that just keep coming back, and it may take a while to find. I think I kind of lucked out and found someone that was really amazing, and just we kind of clicked and worked so well together that it just worked out immediately. But that's not always the case. But I would highly recommend, if you guys want to be extremely successful on Flyp and really implement it into your business, that is what I would recommend, because that's how I've been so successful. And I think without my regular client, that there would be no way I'd be making this many flip sales a week and making this much money using the Flyp app. It would definitely be harder and it would be more time consuming, because if you have a bunch of like individual clients, it's really hard to keep track of all of that. At some point when I was using Flyp, I had 1 million clients and I got so confused during the like communication, and it was overwhelming. Then when I kind of stood back and kind of had my one regular client for however long I've had her, and then I've had a couple clients just here and there come back and leave, that it's definitely more manageable, and I can definitely just keep track of everything way better because I don't have 1 million people to keep track of. So that is my number one tip and trick to becoming successful on the Flyp app. Obviously, not everyone is going to put in the work to make that happen, but if you really are interested in implementing Flyp into your business and you really want to make it something, that would be what I would say to do. So now that we are wrapping up and we are towards the end of the video, I just want to end off talking about how Flyp has changed over the last year, because I honestly feel like I'm using a completely different app a year later. And I think it's definitely a big thank you to Flyp for listening to your pro sellers so well. If you guys didn't know and you are a pro seller, they do have a Facebook group for all the pro sellers, and they basically run everything in that Facebook group, and we can comment and share thoughts and if we want to add something, and it's honestly really cool to be a part of. And they honestly listen to the pro sellers so well, like more than any other app that I've seen. So I just really think Flyp is just an amazing company that honestly wants their pro sellers to succeed, and that is honestly why I like using it so much. And in the last year, obviously I already mentioned the 5% fee that they added, which I was very nervous about in the beginning, but I'm not even thinking about it anymore. And I think if they do decide to make that rate go up, they will start losing people. But as of right now, there are like more lots than ever dropping. There are so many pro sellers, so many clients. They're just growing exponentially compared to last year when I first started. It is just like a whole new app, I swear. Flyp has also implemented and unimplemented a few different things. And one of their big ones is they actually released batch payments. So as a pro seller, you go in and you mark you go and pay out your client one by one. They actually implemented where they take all the transactions out at once, which personally I love, because I don't like having 1 million different little transactions on my bank statement. So that has been honestly one of my favorite things they've implemented, because it's kind of just made my bank account a little more organized, which is something so small, but it's something very important to me. Another thing they have implemented and then it taken away is immediate buyout offers. They used to have a feature where they would kind of have you buy out a lot before a consignment period was done. So you can either apply to a lot for consignment or you could just buy it out straight up, which I kind of liked the idea of, and I'm actually more open to it now that I've been using Flyp for a while, and I use the buyout feature after lots have ended, and I think it's actually a really cool feature. I don't know if they have any plans of it coming back, but I know a lot of sellers want it back, so we'll kind of see where they go with that. I want to say they said that they were kind of revamping it, so we'll see where that goes, but that was definitely a feature that they implemented and took away, and are kind of making tweaks to kind of cater to the pro sellers a little more. And the last thing that I personally do not agree with is the way they do their matching system. When I first started using Flyp, you would basically get applications for every single person that applied to your lot. You could look through everyone's profile, everyone's estimates, and kind of see exactly what everyone put it at. So you could choose the best seller for you. They implemented it shortly after I started using the app, their matches system, which matches each client with a particular seller, and that is kind of who they picked for you. I don't think that it is foolproof. I think it definitely has some tweaks that could be made, because in the past I have seen when I applied to some lots that, in my opinion, I should have won because of my seller profile. It just didn't really make sense that I was not the #1 pro seller, which I know it seems very cocky, but my seller account on Flyp, if you are on Flyp, I know some of the people who watch my videos are on Flyp and have used me. If you have seen my seller profile, it's pretty impressive, if I do say so myself. But I feel like the matches system definitely has some flaws and it could be better. But I honestly kind of think I like the old way better, which it's been so long since that way has even been here that, like, it's weird that I'm talking about it now, but I honestly think the old way was better, and you could kind of look through each seller instead of just being matched with one, and then you have to make your decision off of that one, because just because someone has some higher estimates doesn't mean they're actually going to sell your items for that high. And personally, I like to look at multiple sellers to see who's the best for me. And the first thing I would look at when I would do Flyp on the client side is their seller profiles, because that is more important than the estimates, because the estimates they're just that, they're estimates, so they're not actually spot on, so you actually don't know if that's what you're going to get for your item. So the matching system is a little flawed in my opinion, but I think it does work for the most part well. I just think there could be a couple things they could fix with it. So all in all, I still love the Flyp app, and I have been loving it the whole time I've been using it. I have learned so much. I have grown so much using the app, and I think that everyone should try it. At least try it. Like, consignment is not for everyone, but you really don't know unless you try it. And I think that if I never tried consignment at all, I don't know where I'd be, honestly. Like, it has added so much in the last year that I'm so thankful to my regular client who has just added so much value into my business. And I'm just so grateful for the Flyp app and for the Flyp team for just providing this really cool app for us. But I'm hoping I didn't blab too long, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to hit that bell notification to be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again next week.